Peter Bay introduces himself as a trader. Most times when he uses the word common trader, most of us tend to say it in the negative because we don't understand what he meant by that. But I think if we already understand that we are engaged in the business of selling, it's going to help us appreciate his introducing himself as a trader. We are engaged in the business of selling. Either we're selling a product, we're selling services, we're selling an idea, we're selling ourselves. Basically, that is what we engage in every day. So every day you wake up, you are selling something. The question is, what are you selling? Are you selling a product? Or are you selling a service? Or are you selling your set of skills? Or are you selling your idea? Or are you selling your power, your authority, your influence, or you're selling yourself? Just note this, that we are engaged in the business of selling. If we can appreciate that simple, basic understanding that we are engaged in the business of selling, is going to help us prepare very, very well. When we talk about selling, it involves exchange of value. You might be exchanging that value for monetary terms, or you might be exchanging that value for something that is not monetary, but definitely there is an exchange in the business or in the process of selling. Even as easy as in a relationship, a man and a woman, a boy and a girl, before you start that relationship, each of you would try to show something that you want the other person to appreciate for that relationship to exist. The same way the person in the market wants you to buy a product, he wants to tell you about the product before you can decide to buy, or you on your own, you go your own free volition, you want to buy that product. Well, if we understand this, it is going to help us appreciate the fact that we are all engaged in that business of selling. Now, if we have that understanding that we are all selling something, irrespective of what we are, irrespective of our profession, a medical doctor, an engineer, a politician, whoever you are engaged in business of relationship with people, you are engaged in the business of selling. So if we understand this, it's going to help us with the topic we want to talk about, which is selling and the importance of relationship. Relationship comes from the word to relate. You're relating with somebody, you're relating with something. Basically, it involves transference of what? Value. Now, when we talk about value, it might be monetary or whatever it is, but it is important to understand this, that it involves an exchange. If it involves an exchange, what do we mean by the importance of relationship in selling? The relationship or relate, or the impression you have of somebody or of something or of a product, is very important in helping your decision making process, if you are going to buy or you are not going to buy. Sometimes it has to do with some innate qualities, or it has to do with some sublime qualities of that particular product, or of that particular thing, idea, or of that particular person. You sometimes, those unique qualities might be personal to you, but it is important you understand this. How you relate to that particular quality determines if you're going to buy or if you're not going to buy, or if you're going to sell, or if the other partner or the other party is going to buy. Now, it is important you understand this. Our relationships are very, very important most times, the way in our decision making process. For instance, I remember my mother, anytime she goes to the market or I go with her to the market, there's a particular person she will want to buy from. One, she wants to buy from that person because that person is related to her, or the person related to somebody she knows, or the person treated her rightly sometime. So a relationship was created, and it makes it easier for us, or rather for her, to go and buy from that other person. So when you understand this, it's going to help you build yourself when it comes to selling. When you want to sell something or you want to sell yourself, you need to ask yourself, what is my relationship with my target audience or with my target market? How are you related? How are you connected? How do you relate with that target audience? If you're relating right with that target audience, it's going to make your selling process easier. It's going to make your selling process very, very, very easy for you to get that thing you want to get. What is it that you want in life? What is it that you're pursuing in life? To get that thing, you need to sell yourself. You need to sell your idea. You need to sell your product. You need to sell your services. And your ability to sell depends on your relationship, how you're able to relate with your target market. If you understand this, it's going to change your psyche. If you think you don't have the right relationship or a relationship that influences the buyer's decision, is something you can work on and make that person easily decide in your favor. So what are you selling out there today? Are you selling yourself? Do you make yourself accessible, or do you make your product easy for people to understand? How do you sell your product, or how do you sell yourself? How do you sell your idea? Work on your relationship. Work on how you relate to your target market. You're a boy, you're a girl, and it is important you understand this. For you to be able to sell yourself, get the right relationship. Create the right relationship. Relate appropriately, and you're going to see people swaying towards your own direction. I will stop there for now. We're going to continue our series on selling. We're going to see you in our next class.